unnecessary intro song to totally waste your time.
All right. How compromised are you? What kind of dirt are we going to find when we start digging through your trash and your hard drive, your browser history, recordings of you doing disgusting things with that one girl that you dated, or your wife, your ex-wife? How compromised are you? You know? I'm an open book. I'm an open book. You can look through it. Okay, all right. You're an open book. You've never done anything you're ashamed of. You won't even repost iffy memes. But yeah, you're a hero. You got nothing to hide. Look, man, anybody listening to this, the 5 of you listening, you're probably good people, right? But you probably did some stupid shit before, you know? Things that you're probably glad aren't videotaped. But what if they are? But what if they are, you know? What if somebody has a recording of you in your darkest hour, in your weakest moment? What if somebody secretly videotaped you? You know, what if somebody just sent you a videotape of that darkest moment of yours? Or even one that wasn't so dark. Just you making sweet love to your crush, you know? And you can see your hairy butt. You don't look very good. And the noises you're making are embarrassing. You know? Somebody's got this tape. How about just, you know, somebody has a tape of you taking a poop somewhere in the woods, close up. And they see you pop a zit on your butt. Yeah, I wipe it on your shirt. You know? Anyway, Epstein. We're talking about Epstein here. Release the files, release the files. Oh, Pam Bondi, she's one of them. She said she was going to release them and she didn't. She's useless. You know, it's been 40 days since the inauguration. Well, a little bit more than that, maybe. I don't know. I'm not counting. But just imagine. Here's the thing. You know, I'm just going to speculate because we don't know. I'm totally against government secrets. I absolutely am against them. We paid for everything. Let me see them. I can handle the truth. I can handle the truth. I can. Let me see the truth. I know a lot of people are saying that. But the idea that Pam is somehow now this terrible person because she won't release the files. Just let's speculate. We have to because we don't have the files, right? But we can imagine. Okay, here's the picture of Epstein that has been painted for us and seems probably to be true. I think most people acknowledge that Epstein was a Mossad agent or working for some other government. And his purpose was to compromise people, to get in with people, get them to do some compromising things, some embarrassing, terrible things, and then own them. You know, like he had that guy, who was it, the Victoria's Secret guy, paying his mortgage. He had power of attorney. What kind of dirt did he have on that guy? What didn't that guy want anybody else to find out about? Was it worse than the things that you don't want your friends and neighbors and children and grandchildren and everybody else to find out about? I mean, do you want your grandkid to see a news story of you? Granny caught pooping. Sex tape of Granny with not her husband. You know? Here's the thing. Let's just pretend, let's turn the tables. Let's say we are the compromisers. Let's say I'm an evil bastard. You can call me Epstein if you want to. That's a good name for an evil bastard. What does an evil bastard do? Do you think an evil bastard goes in and just says, I'm only going to compromise the compromisable. I'm only going to get the dirty people. I'm only going to own the bad people. You know, that would be kind of like a Valiant thing in a weird way, right? Finding the people that will do evil and get them to do evil. You're almost taking them out of the picture, right? There's a little bit of valor in there. If you think, oh, he's only targeting bad people, because good people never get targeted. Good people aren't compromisable. They're not cancelable. That's horse shit. Of course you can compromise a good person. You can take a perfectly good person, drug them, drive them to a motel, have them passed out on a bed, have a woman crawl on top of them, videotape them in a blacked out state. You can do that to a good person. Oh, I would never. No, you can't. I wouldn't get myself in that position. What position? You had coffee with somebody? Somebody invited you to have coffee in the morning because they wanted to talk to you about your interesting project you had going. They said, we're looking to invest in things. I'm a philanthropist. I got a lot of money. I'd like to invest in your project. I'd like to know about your startup. Really? Yeah, I read your LinkedIn profile. It was fantastic. Your Facebook posts are great. And by the way, Tammy, you know Tammy? Oh yeah, Tammy, she's my cousin. She's great. Yeah, she speaks the world of you. Want to have coffee? Yeah, let's have coffee. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, drunk in a hotel, compromised. That can happen. It's not a 0% chance that it doesn't happen. If you're a powerful person and have real influence, the likelihood of that happening to you goes up. When you're in the government, it goes up higher. The closer you are to power, the more likely that is to happen to you. Of course, I'm painting the extreme picture, the totally innocent person that happens to, right? But if you think that evil people don't target innocent people as well as the easily compromised, like Bill Clinton, you just say, dude, we got lots of underage chicks on a plane, free blowjobs, come to my island. He's like, I'm there, buddy. It's not even a question. There are lots of people that are very easy to target, but that's not the only people that get targeted. Innocent people, or let's just say a Matt Gaetz kind of guy. He's young, he's single, he's out on the town, he's got his hormones, he's got his last ditch, he's not married, he's clinging on to his youth. Some girl comes up, hey, you want a party? Nah, okay, fine. Turns out she was younger than she was supposed to be, even though she had her driver's license. It was 25, blah, 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 blah. She looks old. You don't know. Now you're compromised. Is he a terrible person? Are you a terrible person if you get scammed by an evil person? If somebody tricks you into doing something, you know, that the public will not understand, there's no way. How do you fight that kind of thing? You know, I see Matt Gaetz and I go, I think he quit because of that. I don't know if he's a good person, bad person, or whatever. But can you blame somebody that doesn't want to go through that? And I'm talking to people, again, almost everybody you know didn't even speak up during COVID. They don't speak up on this. They just keep their head low. They just want to get in and get out. They want to go to work, no problem, no fuss. They don't even post on Facebook. They don't post their political opinions. Anything that's a hot button, they avoid it because they don't want to be called a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, whatever. That's most everybody, right? So let's just imagine Pam Bondi gets all hot in her heels about releasing this shit, and suddenly she sees the files and she goes, oh, ooh, we got 16 senators here. We got 2 Supreme Court justices. We got, oh, what is this? Melania was introduced to Trump by Epstein? Wait, was she a high-class hooker? Was she an escort? Was she sex trafficked as a child? I'm speculating, obviously. I don't know anything about that, but I can imagine that it's not just filled with clients who said, hey, Jeffrey, I would like to have sex with a child. I don't know. This is probably going to get censored. But, you know, how can you talk about this stuff unless you use language, you know? Nobody listens to this shit anyway. But if anybody thinks that that's the only dirt that the CIA or the Mossad, if that's the only compromising thing, is only clients that specifically were trying to do bad, to me, that's just naive. It's far more likely that there are lots of innocent people that have overlapped in some way with Epstein, you know? And like I said, I've said this before, I personally know, when I looked at the flight logs, I know a person that went to the island, you know? She used to be a good friend of mine. Absolutely no way that she was there for nefarious reasons. There's just no way. I know this person. Shy Catholic girl, you know? So she's keeping quiet. You don't hear her talking about it. All those other people on those flight logs, all of those people that had dinner with Epstein not knowing who he was, you know? I just want to talk to you about, I want to invest, you got a really cool project here. I want to talk to you about it. I'm interested in science. What? You got your own jet? You got your own island? Well, that's fascinating. Wait, me? You're interested in me? Yeah. A handsome guy. He's got a pretty girlfriend. Just coffee. Just come. I don't know. We're gonna have the, you know, a soiree on my island. Yeah, friends are gonna be there. So all of these people connected by one degree or whatever, and they're like, fuck, I don't want to get wrapped up in that shit. We're talking about regular people that don't want to even talk about COVID. They don't want to get wrapped up in any shit. They don't want to be the Harvey Weinstein. They don't want to be the P. Diddy. They see how the world treats this shit. The world loves the Blake Lively stories. They love the Johnny Depp stories. The Amber Turd stories. How many of you want to be the next Amber Turd or Johnny Depp or Harvey Weinstein or P. Diddy, you know? And let's assume those guys are all guilty. That makes it worse for you who you're innocent. Oh, but I could just prove I was innocent. But do you want to? Do you want to have to? You know? Or is that compromising videotape of you on your wedding night enough to just keep you like not talking about things they don't want you to talk about? You know? Because you don't want your grandkids and your kids and your neighbors and all that other stuff to get the wrong idea. And guess what? Many of them would get the wrong idea. I promise you that, because if you're a really evil person, you would make sure that your blackmail was done in such a way that people would for sure get the wrong idea, because that's the whole point. You know, when you hear these stories about, I'm a little bit different. I've explained this a number of times, but I'm hardwired to defend the accused. You know, I'll accuse people. I have high double standards, so I'll accuse people. But if I see everybody sharpening their pitchforks and going after somebody, I'm the one that says, whoa, hold on. What makes you so fucking great? Slow down. We don't know the whole story here. You know, maybe slow down. So I've obviously defended some really bad people, intentionally defended bad people before, you know, because I go on the premise, well, what makes you so fucking great? I'm sure some of you out there without sin, and you're throwing the first stone, but not most of you. I've never met any of you. Like even the people that I thought were just these sweet little angels, and almost without fail, it comes out that you find out some weird, terrible story about them. Or not even weird, just embarrassing. It doesn't even need to be terrible. You know, it just needs to be slightly embarrassing. You know, and people deal with embarrassment in different ways. Some people are hard to embarrass, you know, because they don't give a fuck. Other people, very easy to embarrass. I dated this girl that was so easily, her nerves were so, she had clammy hands, right? And you could make her hands sweat just by mentioning it. You know, like also one of my sisters, I could make my sister cry just by saying, what are you going to do, cry? And she'd cry. You know, emotional, fragile people. Most of us. Bless you, dum-dum. So you got to remember, there's lots of people wrapped up in that thing. You know, so it's really easy to say, you know, no secrets, no, just let us have everything, you know. But would you want that for a friend of yours that had lunch with Epstein? Or that was a friend of Epstein's? Or how about one of the girls that was trafficked? Or how about one of her friends? You know? Can you just understand why somebody might not want to be the person that says, here it is, here's all the dirt. Here it is, every bit of it. All the secret recordings. You know, secret recordings, you don't have to do anything illegal to have a secret recording be very embarrassing. You know? That's probably enough for a lot of people. You know, you hear about these people, oh, they had so much child porn on there. We're arresting them, they had so many child porn on their computer. Oh, really? Really? Did they really? Or did you put it on there? FBI. Gretchen Whitmer. Bomb plot. J6. You know? You didn't put that. Oh, you didn't put that compromising stuff on their hard drive. Oh, you didn't tape them doing something they didn't want people to see. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, all these people virtue signaling, just clamoring for Pat Bondi, she works for Israel, Cash Patel. 10 days on the job and he hasn't fired everybody in the FBI. You know, we're talking decades of them building these institutions to serve their ends. And half of these people are expecting Pam Bondi, who seems just like a woman I would have went to high school with. I think she's my age. You know, I'm expecting some lady to just be the balls out warrior and just go, I don't give a fuck. Here it is. Here's all of it. Here's all the incriminating, compromising shit. Sort through it yourself. You know, maybe that would be the right thing to do. But what if 14 Republican senators, 3 Supreme Court justices, you know, you need their vote. Who has the time? Who has the time? Does the next 4 years need to be about watching sex tapes? Is that what we want? Or listening to conversations like we're all a bunch of weirdos? Most private conversations are supposed to be private. You know, all that stupid shit you say in the bedroom. There's a reason why it's supposed to be private. You know, it would be one thing if you got rid of privacy for every single person, everybody, like all of a sudden you could look in everybody's closets. You know what would happen, I think, is most people would spend, it would be like 1998. Remember 1998, where the internet just started and an email started becoming a thing? I don't know about you, but just maybe that my friends, but 1998 is like every time I opened my email, there'd be some awful picture, you know, just something terrible. And it was because everybody was just searching. Every search term was just the worst thing because it was the first time it was available. And this happened for like part of 97, 98, and then like halfway through 98, everybody just said, okay, can we stop that now? We get it. The internet is filled with terrible things. I would like to be able to open up an email and not see poop on a naked body, you know, or a dead person. Ogre.com. This probably didn't happen with the women that are listening to this, but if you're a dude and you had a computer in the late 90s, you saw some really ugly pictures. And then it stopped because people realized, we don't want this. We don't want this. You know? Anyway, that was a sidetrack. What was I saying? I was going to make a point with that, but... I was going to say, if suddenly everybody could look into every single thing, there was no passwords or anything, I think people would look through people's shit for 5 minutes and they'd go, oh, no, I don't want to do this anymore. No, truce. I don't want to know this about you. Please, everybody back in the closet. Let's not ever again talk about our private moments. Let's make privacy private again. I think that's what would happen. You know? So yeah, I get it. I understand. I'm not impatient. I don't know I'm not one of these people that's saying, I need to know the Epstein files, because how am I supposed to sort through and find out what happened and how people got there? Were they drugged? Did they do it voluntarily? Do I want to watch all the video to try to determine? Well, you know, I got to know the truth. I need to see how that person acted. You know, if I want to look through all that, I don't want to look through. Let me tell you something. If you send me a tape of you in a private moment, I don't want to see it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to see it, okay? But if it becomes like, oh shit, it's this governor, it's this senator, it's the president's wife, it's the president himself, I don't want to see a naked picture of Donald Trump. I don't want to see a naked picture of Robert F. Kennedy. I don't want to see a naked picture of John Roberts. Okay? I don't want to have to sit there and decide, should he have been doing that? I don't want to think about John Roberts' boner. I just had to just now in making this tape. I certainly don't want to see it. And if somebody recorded him with a boner, they shouldn't have. They should not have done that. You know what I mean? You can convince people to do things that they don't want to do. You can drug them, you can trick them, you can convince them, you can pay them, you can do all kinds of things. Not me, I would never, you could poison me and I would still be an angel. Okay. I've never been drugged that I know of. You know, I've blacked out before. I remember before I drank booze, I had my first drink when I was 33 years old. And before that, when people would say they couldn't remember things, I'd just go, selective memory, you're full of shit. But then one night after a year, I started drinking. Some friends came down from Utah, and they used to drink, and I didn't drink with them. So I thought, well, now I can finally have a drink with them. Anyway, blackout drunk that night. Totally blackout drunk. Everything that I remember from that night was because they told me about it, you know? And I had foggy memories. Apparently, I was just this amazing, great guy when I was blackout drunk. But I don't remember any of it. I woke up on my couch, not remembering how I got home, you know? Only what they told me. Again, I had to piece it together. But yeah, I could have done anything that night. And that's just alcohol. Imagine being drugged, you know? I've done mushrooms. That's pretty crazy. I don't know that they're blackoutable, but I know that there's lots of other drugs that you can slip into somebody's drink, you know, and they black out and they don't know. I've blacked out. Have you blacked out? If you black out, you will realize, wow, you can be a functioning human being, walking and talking, charming and making jokes for hours and not remember any of it. So do I want to decide? Do I want to decide who that happened to? Do I want to have to sit here and guess? I don't even like that I have to guess about P. Diddy. I don't like that I have to guess about Harvey Weinstein. I don't like that I have to that I'm compelled, I don't like that I'm compelled to listen to Candace talking about Blake Lively. I don't like that I'm compelled to watch the fucking Amber Turd trial. I don't like that. Imagine, though, if all of a sudden we're flooded with, I don't know, 100 people, notable people, 1,000 with videotapes, recordings. Oh, man, that seems so dark. You know, so, yeah, I'm not saying, hey, Pam, save me from that. I'm not saying, hey, Trump, save me from that. I'm not saying, United States government, please keep this a secret from me. But I can certainly understand why Pam Bondi might be thinking, on second thought, maybe we shouldn't dump this onto the public. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for listening.